In the old city of Jerusalem, a standoff between the local Armenian community and an Israeli firm is unfolding. The firm, Xana Gardens, claims it wants to build a luxury hotel on the land of the Armenian Patriarchate. Local Armenians believe Xana Gardens is acting on behalf of Jewish settlers who are trying to take over the Armenian Quarter. The Patriarchate has called this the greatest threat to its 1,600 years of history. The confrontation escalated on November 4th when settlers armed with rifles and dogs showed up in the Armenian Quarter to try and intimidate the local residents. It all started in July 2021 when the Armenian Patriarchate signed a deal with Xana Gardens for the lease of a piece of land called the Xana Garden in the Armenian Quarter. According to the Armenian residents, Father Yeretzian, the head of the Patriarchate's real estate department, negotiated the lease and the Patriarch signed it.
Because Orenkov, he is the legal owner of the properties.
However, when news of the deal started circulating in May 2023, the local community was not happy. According to locals, the lease was signed without consulting with the rest of the priests in the Patriarchate. The lease also reportedly included the homes of 5 Armenian families who would be facing displacement. Father Yeretzian was defrocked as a consequence and had to be escorted away from the Armenian Quarter by the police before leaving for the United States. Jordan and the Palestinian Authority pressured the Patriarch to cancel the deal as it would affect the status quo of the old city. The Patriarchate finally relented and announced on October 26th that it had sent a letter to Xana Gardens to cancel the deal. On the same day, bulldozers appeared at the Xana Garden and started digging up parts of the parking lot there. Some local residents tried to stop the machines. That's when the intimidation began. A few days later, a group of armed settlers, accompanied by Danny Rothman, the director of Xana Gardens, faced off against the residents. The police were called to intervene. The standoff extended into the next day. At times, according to Armenian activists, the police seemed to be acting in support of the settlers. Members of the clergy decried how the armed men were taking justice into their own hands under the watchful eyes of the police.
Enough is enough! They will come here and make a problem because they have a gun. This is the government. This is justice.
Israeli authorities' indifference to settler violence and intimidation has increased since the start of the war on Gaza. US President Joe Biden recently threatened to impose visa bans against extremists responsible for attacks on Palestinians in the West Bank. In the meantime, some Armenian residents have started a vigil on the disputed land and have promised to not leave.